Hey Mike, Rob, wanted to get your video out to you. I took a look in the email and it wasn't bounced back to me, so I'm not sure what happened on it. No big deal, I'm going to make a new one for you here. What I'm going to do here first is just let your swing run. This is you right off the street. This is before we really talked or worked on anything. So right now, I'm just going to let it run. I may or may not stop and interject. If I don't, I'm going to bring you back to this point and show you a couple of things that we talked about prior to moving on, okay? So here we go. I'm just going to let it run. We'll see one or two, maybe. Let's take a look. See another one, please. And let's watch one last one. All right, let's take you back to the beginning. Let me get you back here, bear with me. Okay, I'm going to move you through this. A couple things we talked about, Mike. Number one is staying in our knee flex properly. You know, we talked about this in the very beginning. Setup position, you, me, the guy next door, we can all set up just as good as the PGA Tour players because it's a static position. We just need to know how to properly get into it, okay? And as we talked about, the main components of the setup we look at, number one is your knee flex position. And we talked about in your setup, you're setting up really, really well. That's 157 degrees. If I look at that, what that's going to do is put you right on the balls of your feet, okay? And we talked about this. In order to perform any athletic maneuver, we really have to be balanced and on the balls of our feet to accomplish that, okay? The next thing we look at is spine angle. As we talked about, spine angle is basically the axis of which we rotate back in our backswing and through in our foreswing. By establishing a nice crisp spine angle, it allows us to make contact or come into the same angle of attack into the golf ball time after time. So right now, what you were giving me in the beginning, let's take a look at that for me. Your spine angle is not really established crisply, so I've got something that goes like this, kind of goes like this, and kind of goes like this, okay? So give me a little bit of a corkscrew type thing, and as we talked about again, in a better world, what I'd like to see more is this spine angle actually a lot more crisp and something a little more like this. That's going to require us getting that technique down that I showed you as far as getting into the setup position, but it's going to do a couple of things for us. Number one, it's going to move the head back into more of this region and make a nice straighter spine. The other thing it's going to do is going to allow us to get our head back so we're not looking on top of the golf ball as much as we are right now. Right now you'll see it's a pretty vertical line from your eyes to the ball. If I get rid of that again and get you back in this position over here where your spine's in line a little bit better, your eyes are going to be somewhere in here. And if you'll notice just this line here in contrast, how much flatter that line is. And that line's going to be able to produce us a nice flat swing plane so we can repeat ourselves back into the golf ball. All right? The other thing it's going to do, right now you're giving me what I call a hanging chin. And we talked about somewhere along your golf swing, your left shoulder is going to contact the left side of your face with your chin hanging that low. Once you do that, you've only got two options, sir. You can either sway off of the golf ball, which is no good, or you can bend your left arm severely, which is also no good. So I'm going to take you back in the halfway back position that we talked about. Get rid of this plane. And let's get you back in the halfway back position. Bear with me. Let me get you there. And as we talked about here, halfway back, let me cheat you into it. Boom, 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 boom. Halfway back position is really pretty good, Mike. Again, we talked about geometry and physics, and that's really all this game is. If I take the shadow off of your golf club right now, if you'll see down here, I'm drawing the orange line in behind that. That's pretty nice. That's out in front of you just like we want it. Okay, this is my target line, which these two alignment rods indicate. Well, if I look at your alignment here, and we talk geometry and physics, correct? So if I take a look at this line right here you're creating in your backswing, you're halfway back in your backswing, these match geometrically. So you're setting yourself up here to make a pretty nice golf swing, all right? So let's take you on up to the top. Okay, if we get up here, okay, right here, Mike, I'm going to bring a couple of gradient lines in here just to show you. The first line is the top of your shoulder, is up here, and the bottom line is the bottom of your chin. Okay, as you'll see right there, we have blocked ourselves in our rotational move to the backswing, okay? When we do that, as I said, you can sway or bend. Well, you are actually bending. So if we look at this again, if I take this arm out of your socket, shoulder socket, come to your elbow, and then come up here, we've got about a 25-degree bend in that arm. Well, we want to keep that completely straight, all right? The other thing that we talked about, of course, is make sure we're keeping this right arm pinned up against our right hand side. As you can see here, we've got a considerable amount of air between this right elbow and the right side of your body. Okay? We want to close that down, get this arm straighter, and again, you can see the head is actually moved forward and not stayed stabilized into our swing. All right? So I'm going to bring you down into the swing itself. Dropping here from the back swing, coming down, and you can see here, Mike, I'm going to get rid of all this stuff so you can just take a look at this better. Right here you can see the arm is really bent, so, pardon me, wrong tool, grab the right one. As you can see here, Mike, the arm is continued to bend, all right? So now we're ending up with like a 46-degree bend in that. And again, I'll bring your attention to all the real estate or all the air you've created between your right elbow and the right side of your body, all right? So we're going to bring you into impact. Bring it back down, and when we get in this area where the shoulder is actually able to release away from the left side of your body, you're trying to accomplish a couple of things. Number one, look how well that right elbow is trying to travel down by your side. If I take you a little bit farther down, we're going to get into a great looking hitting position. And back you one up here. Okay, let me get rid of this again. Good looking hitting position here, because now that the left shoulder has separated from the left side of your face, you're able to maintain that nice straight left arm. Okay, so we're coming here, and then we've got a decent wrist cock area here. So you're in a really strong hitting position here. So we're going to come down and watch the release, please. So if I come down and follow you into a release, if I watch the release of your hands, release of the hands are really nice, Mike. That is really an on-time release. The upper body is a little ahead of the golf ball here. So as we talked about before, that white cup or the center right there, that is dead center of this entire setup here. And you're going to go, so you're just going to travel a little left of that. Okay, that's center and center left. So you recovered this golf swing by, you have way too many moving parts in this thing. What's your finish, please? Come on around to finish. And we talked about this too. You're still giving me a little bit of a fake finish here, because I still see about 15 to 20% of your weight back here on your right-hand side, and we talked about that. We want to impart all of that weight into the golf ball. All right, so now let's take a look at a couple swings that we made after we worked on some things. And we'll get you in here. All right. So one of the things we talked about and worked on a little bit better here, and we still, I think in a ladder swing, we're going to do even better. We've crisped up this spine angle a little bit here, all right? I still like to see it come back a little bit, still looking over the golf ball a little more than I would like, but we've got into our knee flex a lot better. And what I want to maintain, watch and just monitor is to make sure we're staying in that knee flex, okay? So I'm going to come in here and highlight that knee. Let's get you in a halfway back position again, please. So if I get you halfway back again, you've got the club out in front of you, which is ideal. So I'm going to get you here again. Very nice. Again, if I take a line off of your shadow on the ground, you're out in front of you and you're matching the alignment sticks. Going to take you here to the top. You'll notice even right here, we've got a lot more real estate here to work with. I'd like to see a little more here between these two red lines right under your chin. We've created a little more space in there. I still want to see a little bit more, and that's going to be accomplished by getting this head back out of the way a little bit more. All right, so take you up to your top of your backswing. Okay, so here, okay, we're still getting a little bit of blockage. You notice in my two red lines here, and that's causing the arm to bend again or break down. All right, 22 degrees. We still want to get rid of that. Much nicer stuck in here to your right-hand side. This is going to allow you to utilize the larger muscle groups of your body by staying connected to your body. And that's your obliques, your abs, your pecs, the upper part of your thighs. All of those large muscle groups is what we want to get into the golf ball with. All right, let's come on down into impact, please. And again, your release is really good. Let's get you here, here. Okay, this one happened a little bit quicker. Kind of bring you on around. Look how much nicer you are up off your toe, Mike. This is almost vertical now. That's what I want to see. If you've got 5% back here, I'd be surprised. But that's what I want to see, because I want to see this belt buckle left or left of the target, all right? That indicates a complete weight transfer from right to left. So let's go on a little bit. Let's see. Let me get you into, get rid of some of the stuff, get you into a little bit better swing. I think it's one or two here. Let me see. Let's see. Go back. Get this up again. Okay, this is another swing. A little bit of the same thing on this one. This is one of your ladder ones here. Still, I'd like to see this spine angle established a little better, sir. All right? And you can use that drill I showed you. If we can get this head back in here, and again, we talked about looking down your nose at the golf ball. Right now, you're looking on top of this golf ball. That would be the green line. If your head were back in line a little bit better, your eyes would be coming here, indicated by the red line. See how much flatter this red line is? Well, that's going to create our swing plane, which we want to stay under. This is a little too much vertical, and it's going to want to make you pick the club up way too early. All right? Get you halfway back. Looks good. I know it does. Get you halfway back. Looks really good right there as far as alignment. Again, because we're hanging here, draw these lines in here, red, red. Shoulder and chin is hanging a little low. You are going to bend still. All right? I really want you to concentrate on getting that chin up out of the way. And the only way you can do that is by looking down your nose at the golf ball. Okay? You just, for so long, have looked on top of the golf ball, and that's not what you need to do. All right? So let's get that head back up out of the way, establish that spine angle a little bit better. You're staying in your knee flex a lot better. Let me bring that to your attention here, bring you back. Bear with me. Just highlight halfway back into your knee flex, and you'll see how little this thing actually rotates now. Here we come through, get you to the top. You're at the top of your backswing, you've come out of your knee flex very little, all right? You're able to accomplish more turn and create more torque when we can get this head up out of the way so that left shoulder does not contact the left side of your face, all right? Take you on down into impact. So we are still getting this bend. Get everything out. Go orange so you can see this. Highlight it. Come down to the elbow. Pardon me. Right one. Come down from the elbow and make a turn. Still got a 37-degree bend in that arm, Michael. All right, we want to get rid of that. Stand the knee flex much better, connected a little bit better. Chin out of the way, we're going to allow this shoulder to stay on plane and rotate all the way back. And we talked about a lot of that's accomplished with the level hip turn, and I showed you how to monitor that and get into that. All right, bring you into impact again. And here we come. Okay, this is good impact. I apologize for not being able to catch it. It's just you went too fast. All right. So bring you around to finish. Finish looks a lot better, Michael. Very nice. So that's what we want to concentrate on. I'm going to get you back and I'm going to highlight those things for you. Okay, so right off the jump street, I want to get into a better position with our setup, all right? And that primary, you're staying in the knee flex good now, but what that primary is going to consist of is getting this spine angle a little crisper, okay? And we talked about how to do that, and we're going to be able to do that by just utilizing that exercise I showed you and be able to get into our setup position a little bit better. Knee flex is good, setup's here. Got to get this chin up, sir, because you're just blocking yourself, creating that unnecessary bend in your left arm, and you're not. Once you do that, you're going to make a more low to high backswing where I want a level hip turn. Remember when we put the club right up against your belt buckle, and then we made a rotational move, and you could tell what was level and what wasn't level. So that's pretty easy to correct if we just make sure we're utilizing that that training mechanism right there. Okay, so spine angle a little bit better, getting the chin up out of the way a little bit better, and making a full, more rotational move with your upper body and creating torque from the upper and lower body, separating the upper and lower, allowing us to create torque, or like pulling that rubber band taunt, and then allowing it to pop and to come into the golf swing. So that's what I've got for you right now. Did some good work. Work on this stuff, practice, and I'll see you on your next lesson. I want to thank you for your business, and right now wish you a great big warm aloha.